everyone, my name is Tammy and this is the beginner's training for Subventory. In this training, we will be covering how to install the Subventory app on a mobile device, how to install the Zipium agent, signing in with access codes, the message center, inventory items with configuration issues, configuring containers and bottles on the app, how to perform a week-ending count, how to perform a delivery, a quick overview of QualityNet Pro, and saving settings to the cloud. A little background of how Subventory was created. Daniel Riscala, who is our CEO, is a software developer by trade and is a Subway owner of multiple shops. Subventory was created by Daniel with experience of how the shops needed to be run and the technical know-how to create an app. The application has many functions and was created to help streamline the inventory process with the new technology, making weekending inventory more efficient. Over time, the app has expanded to include many other features that make the shop more efficient, like withdrawals, transfers, and suggestive ordering. Subventory is an application that can be downloaded on a smartphone or tablet. Subventory can be found in the Android Play Store or Apple App Store. Search for Subventory and install the app. Once you have downloaded the application to your device, the very first thing you need to do is register. To simply register, tap on Register icon in the center of the login screen, and you will then be asked to enter your restaurant number, partner ID, and password, and proceed to log in. The next page will be prompted to register your restaurants. If you're a multi-unit owner, you will see a list of all your shops. You can select all the shops, or you can just select one. Once you have selected the restaurants you would like, you can proceed to the next page where you get to choose the plan. In some areas, such as the US, IPC provides Subventory free of charge, so you see a plan with no charge. Other areas may show a plan with subscription charge. If you ever need to cancel your subscription, you can also do that from this screen. Continuing on, tap on Update next to the selected plan. And if your plan is not free that you selected, you will be prompted to enter your credit card information. But on this final or last page, we ask you to provide us with your contact information. Provide us with the information requested. The street address can be the actual shop address, or if you are a multi-unit owner, you can provide us with a corporate address. We ask that you also provide a valid email address where we can send you Subventory activity reports or reach you in case of an important matter. Then we ask you to tell us how you heard about Subventory. And then finally, you need to read and accept the terms and conditions, and then click on Confirm at the bottom right-hand side. You have now completed your registration for Subventory. Next, we need to add the Zipium agent to your POS. From your POS, you will need to log into the partner's website. Since we are a test restaurant, we do not have access, but our knowledge base has an article with step-by-step instructions and pictures, so we will show you the visuals on that site. Once logged in, proceed to the Technology tab. Under Technology, you will select Subventory, and this will take you to the Subventory page. On the upper right corner of the page, click on Get the Zipium agent. When prompted in Internet Explorer, click Save rather than Run. Save the file to the POS desktop or somewhere you can easily access. And then once downloaded, follow the prompts to complete the installation and configuration processes. You will click Next 3 times and then be prompted with a drop-down to choose the brand. Click on the arrow and select Subway. It'll be the second option. Next, you will enter the restaurant number and the primary franchisee's partner ID and password. When completed, please make sure Subway POS is running and open, and then press the F9 key in the top row on the keyboard to open the Zipium agent and confirm the installation completed successfully. F9 is a way to bring up your agent. You can also open the agent on your POS by selecting the Start Windows icon at the bottom left-hand side. If you do not see the Start button, press Ctrl Escape or the Windows key on your keyboard to the left side of the spacebar. Once you click on the Start button, you will then go to All Programs, then Zipium, and finally the Zipium agent. In addition, you can find the agent icon on your taskbar at the bottom right-hand side next to the time and date. The agent icon is a black box with the letter ZY in it. Once you have registered your shop and installed the Subventory agent on your POS, you are ready to log into Subventory. Let's go to the Subventory application and log in. You have two options to log in. You can log in with the primary restaurant owner's partner's credentials or with an access code. You will see two tabs on the login screen. You can tap on Partner ID or access code. Because I do not have partner's credentials, I'll be using an access code for my test shop. If you select Partner ID, you can proceed to enter your shop number, partner ID, and password. If you're using your partner's credentials or master code, and you're a multi-unit owner, at the time of login, you will see a list of all your registered restaurants. You can also move from one shop to another without having to log out and back in. So let me explain what this screen is telling us. You can see a list of all your restaurants. Right below the shop number, you're provided with an access code for each. The access code can be given to your manager or staff member who is helping with weekending inventory. If you notice as well, each shop has a padlock. Some shops have a key and some don't. What this means is that if a shop does not have a key, logging with the access code allows the user to make changes to the settings of Subventory. The shop with a key means that they do not have access to making changes to the settings. Partner ID credentials have privileges to making changes to settings. You have the option to allow the user with the access code to make changes or not. By default, all access codes assigned to the shop have an unlocked padlock. If you would like to switch the option to be unable to make changes, you simply tap on the blue circle with the eye in the middle located on the right-hand side. This icon will take you to the settings for the shop access. Here, we provide you with the software you're using in the POS and list the distribution center. The second to last item listed asks if login with the access code can make changes to settings. See that is in green because it's enabled to allow the user to make changes. If you tap on the white circle, you would then disable the access. This should follow with a pop-up message asking you if you want to prevent the user from making changes. If this is what you want to do, simply tap on Proceed. You can always come back and make the changes whenever you want to change the access settings. Now from this screen, you can also reset an access code. If you had provided the access code to a manager and the manager is no longer with your company, you can reset the access code and provide it to the new manager or staff member helping with weekending counts by simply tapping on the Reset Access Code button. So let's proceed to select a shop. I'm using shop 90125, so I will tap on my shop 90125. We are now at the homepage of Subventory. When you first enter the app, you may see a red circle with a number on top of the menu icon. This is indicating that there is an important message in your message center. To get to your message center, tap on the menu and then select Message Center. The Message Center is a great way for IPC, your distribution center, Food World Headquarters, and Zippyum to send important messages to the franchisee. If you see in my shop, IPC has sent a message from the distribution center notifying of a promotion for an item. This is a great way to take advantage of the discounted pricing. Anyone logging into the app will have access to viewing the messages. Franchisees can share with managers to see if they can take advantage of the discount promotion, or the manager can share it to the franchisee and see if they can attend one of our trainings for better use of the app. And that's the Message Center. Now, if you notice at the very top in the middle, you can see the Subventory icon, and right below it is the shop number that I have logged into. This is important to check because if you are an MUO, a multi-unit owner, and have logged into the wrong shop, you could be doing a weekending or delivery for the wrong shop. We will come back to this Subventory icon later in the training session as it serves a second important purpose. Next, let's configure the items that we want to have in our restaurant for inventory purposes. As you know, Subway has many products that maybe your restaurant may not carry or you would just not like to count even though you have them, such as cleaning products, for example. Who wants to count the broom every Tuesday? The app allows us to configure the inventory items to be enabled or disabled so that the weekending count can be much faster. To do this, tap on the menu bar and then Inventory Items. The key point with disabling items is that they can be disabled for any of the three functionalities. 1. Disabled for inventory, which will not show up in the Subventory location screens when doing an inventory. 2. Disabled for delivery, which will not be included in deliveries with linked invoices exported to the POS. Also, the item will not show in the Subventory location screens when doing a delivery. And 3. Disabled for ordering, which will not be included in any orders created with suggestive ordering. To disable or enable items, tap on the pencil icon on the top left and press Edit. The Locations and Setup Assistant will be covered in the advanced training. Find the item you wish to modify, use the Expand and Collapse buttons to expand or collapse all categories, Tap on the green circle with the white arrow to expand or collapse a particular category of products like the cleaning items. You'll see a screen like this one. Cleaning products are one of the items that franchisees don't like to count. So let's review the category and you decide if you want to disable or enable some of the items in this category. At the bottom of the screen, there is a bar that displays inventory, delivery, and ordering. Tap the functionality you want to view or change. The circle to the left of the item shows whether the item is enabled or disabled for that functionality. If the circle is green and shows a check, it is enabled. Tap the circle to change whether the item is enabled or disabled. If you want to change another functionality for the same item, simply tap on the feature you want to change at the bottom of the screen on the Inventory, Delivery, Ordering bar. Note that you can enable or disable multiple items for the same functionality by scrolling through the list and tapping the circle for any item. If you wish to enable or disable an item for all three, just tap All or None to the right of the item. This will enable or disable the item for inventory, delivery, and ordering. When you're done making changes for all the items you wish to modify, tap Done in the upper right corner of the screen. Then confirm the changes. Now we are back to the inventory items list. If you noticed, there are exclamation marks found on some of the picture items. Let's talk about what they mean. A red exclamation mark means that an item is not configured for the restaurant in your Subway POS database. We cannot find an alternate item to include the counts in, and we can't figure out what to do, so these counts are not included. The yellow exclamation mark means that the item is not configured for the restaurant, but we found a similar item. We will include the counts in this alternate item. The orange exclamation marks means that the item is not configured for the location, but we will include the counts in the same item under an alternate location. If you would like to filter just for the items with warnings, simply tap on the filter on the top right and choose Warning. The thing to focus on immediately are any items that you count with red exclamation marks. For those items, we have configured the inventory item ID provided by IPC, so please check to see if that ID is available on Menu Manager and update it there if possible. Make sure that the numbers match on the products from Menu Manager and on Subinventory. Again, note that the important items that require your immediate attention are the red exclamation marks, because those counts will not be transferred to the POS. The yellow exclamations are important as well. This is because if we did not find the exact item in Subinventory, below the counts in a similar item, if that similar item has a different unit of measure, then the counts will be thrown off. Subinventory is designed to look for the closest item if not configured, and then add to those counts to that item. Users need to be careful to review the measurements of that alternate item if this happens. And lastly, the orange exclamations are not critical. They will not impact your Wiser reports, and updating locations in Menu Manager is optional. If you would like to see all the warnings in a table format, simply tap on the white circle with the white exclamation mark on the top right corner. You can then see a list of all the red, yellow, and orange exclamations. If you wish to send all of the issues to yourself, tap on the right-hand side the square with the arrow pointing up, and you can email the list to yourself. You can then export the file to Excel and filter by color so that you can add the items in Menu Manager. The next thing to do is configure the containers and bottles you have in your restaurant for accurate inventory. Tap on the menu bar and select Container and Bottles. It is very important that before you start doing your week-ending count, you review this section. You need to tell us how you're preparing your containers and bottles, so that when you are entering these counts for your week ending, the counts are configured correctly. Subinventory does the math for you, but you need to ensure that this section is correct so that the data is not wrong when being calculated. If you look on the top left-hand side, there should be a white pencil. If there is not one, that means the access code you are using does not allow you to make changes. You would then need to either be signed in with the partner ID or master code, or ask the main owner to give you access when using the access code. By tapping on the white pencil on the top left-hand side, the pencil will now turn yellow. This means you are in edit mode. Now you can change your bottles, cambros, pans, and trays. So let's take light mayo for example. We see it configured as 1 52-ounce pouch equals to 3 bottles. But my shop is not prepping 2-3 bottles for 1 pouch of light mayo. We use 4 bottles to 1 pouch. We can then simply tap inside the box with the number 3, delete 3, and add 4. Let's look at the Cambro section now. I have bacon configured to 1 pack of bacon to 3 1/6 containers. But I do not use the 1/6 container. I use the 1/3 container. I can then tap on the container size and select the container that I want to use. After all changes are made, review all the items, and then to be able to keep everyone in the store on the same page, you can simply print a sheet that shows how the shop preps containers, bottles, trays, and pans, and you can print, laminate, post it to the back room so that any staff members can know how to prep the items on the list. Now that we have finished configuring the items for the restaurant, we are now ready to perform a week-ending inventory count. Subinventory was created to make it easy and efficient to use, so let me now show you a shortcut that can be helpful. Instead of having to press back and then back again to get to the home screen, you can simply tap the Subinventory icon at the top center of your screen and it will always take you back to the home page. Now we are back to the home page, and in the body of the home page we see columns for inventory, delivery, and if we tap and swipe our screen to the left, we can see transfer, waste, and withdrawal. In today's beginner session, we will focus on inventory and delivery. During our advanced session, we will cover the other tabs. Now let's get started with our week-ending count. Think of this as your paper data entry sheet when you are doing your week-ending count every week. At the beginning of your inventory count, you will always start in the Start section. The Update section will be used once you have started a week-ending and need to modify or add counts. In the Review section, you find a list of all your previous week-ending counts that are considered old counts because it's past the Thursday submission deadline for those week-endings. So today I'm starting a week-ending count. I tap on the inventory green rectangle. I'm then taken to the location screen. Where am I starting my count? Is it in the back room, freezer, refrigerator, front counter, restaurant, cooler, or bread cabinet? For this example, I will start in my front counter. So I simply tap on front counter. I then can see all the categories in the front counter. If I want to start with my proteins, I tap on proteins. Then I am shown all the protein items listed in the front counter. You see in the top middle section the words in gray? This is telling me that I'm doing my inventory for the week ending, the date I created it, and how many items I have counted. In this case, I have not done any, so I should see 0. I then can tap on the item I'm going to start my inventory count with. I want to start with ham, so I tap on the picture, which will then take me to the data entry screen. In here, where I'm going to start entering my count is for ham. If you notice, case and pack are grayed out. They are grayed out because I would not have a case or pack in the front counter. The only entries I can enter are pounds or cambros. If you do have cases or packs in the front counter for your store, there is a way you can add that feature, but that is covered in our advanced training. If I want to enter my count by pound, as the Subway Operations Manual Guide tells us, I can do so. I would take the cambro with the item, weigh it, and then deduct the weight of the cambro, then enter the difference in the pound section. Or, I can look at the cambro and estimate the quantity in the cambro. I have the option to say it's 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, or full by using the plus or minus icons on the right-hand side. There's also the option to use the entry keyboard at the bottom of the screen. Once I am finished with my ham count, I can then swipe to the left and now see the next item, meatballs. Again, I can enter how many cambros by either using the entry keyboard or the plus or minus buttons. And then I would continue to enter the counts I have for the front counter. Here's another shortcut I want to share with you. I'm currently in the front counter for the item on the screen. Now if I'm finished with my count, I can press back on my device until I get to the location screen, or I can tap on the picture and get a list of the locations where I can find this item. This way I can easily jump around from one location to another. Again, this is a shortcut to help you do your weekending more efficiently. If I go back to the category section for the front counter, anything with a green circle and a white check mark is an indication that we have counted this item. Anything without the check mark still needs to be counted. These tools are in Subinventory to help guide where the employee left off. I now want to go to the proteins in the freezer. If you notice for meatballs in the freezer, case and bag are now in green and cambro is grayed out. This means that I would not see cambros in the freezer, but I can now count cases and bags in the freezer. So I've been showing you all this in the tree view. The tree view allows you to start in one area and move to another extension of the app. But we also have a list view. On the top right-hand side, the icon with the 4 dots and 4 lines is your list view. If you tap on it, you will now see a list of the items you have already counted. This view also provides you with the count you have done and the cost of the item. The price is very accurate as this is what is provided to us from your distribution center. If you happen to see a mistake, you can simply modify the count by tapping on the description of the item, and the data entry screen will appear at the bottom of the item description. This will allow for you to make any modifications without having to go back to the data entry screen. Tapping on the description will close that screen. The front counter category shows the items we counted for. At the bottom of the list, I see marinara sauce, but we did not count this item. Why is this item in here if we did not count our sauces? This is because Subventory knows to count for you. This will happen for items such as meatballs, tuna, and teriyaki chickens, since there is marinara sauce, mayonnaise, teriyaki glaze used when making these products. Subventory is configured to do the count for you, so you don't have to do the count for the sauce in making these products yourself. So now that we've finished our counts, we are ready to export to the POS. We simply tap on the menu bar and select Export to POS. At the bottom of the screen, we are being asked where we want it to be sent to. You can email it to yourself, send it to a Dropbox, or in our case, we want to upload it to the POS. Then a pop-up message appears with Upload Completed. You can now go to the POS and press F9 on your keyboard to load this inventory. Now let's talk about how to perform a delivery. In the home screen of Subventory, I'm going to start a delivery, so there are two options on how to create a delivery. In our database, we get an electronic invoice from your distribution center. It's a replica of your paper invoice. When you select Start a Delivery, you will see a list of all your e-invoices. Tap on the word Link on the right-hand side, and you're now shown the list view of the items that you have just received. On the top right-hand side, your category box is a filter. You can tap on it, and you can filter your view by category, location, or location by name, which is viewing your locations but with items in alphabetical order. I will select category just because I like to see the types of items versus the location view. This is one of the reasons why Subventory is so easy to use. It gives the flexibility to filter views to your preference. By pressing the green circle on the left-hand side, I'm expanding my category to view items. If you notice in the middle section, we see red boxes with the bold 0. Inside the box, we also see a gray number. This number is the number of orders showing on the invoice. The bold 0 is indicating how many cases we have confirmed we received. If I tap on the red box, I'm stating that I have received the case for the item. The number below indicates how many cases are on the invoice, so that's how many taps I need to enter in the section to indicate quantities accepted. I can then expand each section and proceed to validate that I have received the cases. We also have another shortcut to accept all the items at once. If you scroll to the bottom of the invoice on the left-hand side, you see Accept All Invoice Quantities. I can simply tap on this and will be asked if I want to confirm the delivery and select Proceed. So now that I have accepted the quantities, I can expand the categories and see my boxes all green. If you do accept all invoice quantities, all boxes will be green, but you can still edit if you want to. Simply select an item and tap on the green box and it turns red again. You would do this for instance if your delivery total is different from your actual invoice total. For example, if you had received less or more of an item. You then tap the green box, which turns red, and continue tapping to indicate how many cases had actually been received. When you're ready to upload to the POS, simply tap on the menu bar and select Export to POS, and at the bottom page, you will select Upload to POS. If you have items that will not be loaded onto your POS, you'll receive this warning notifying you of the items and the reason why. Once you take note of the warning, press Proceed at the bottom of your screen to continue to load the rest of your items. Then you'll receive a pop-up message that you have successfully uploaded your delivery. Proceed to the POS and press the F9 key to load this delivery into the POS. In the event that the e-invoice is not in the app, don't worry. You can still load your delivery through the app. Tap New Delivery and enter the invoice number on your paper invoice in the search bar and press Return. This way we have an invoice number for reference. Or on the top right, you also have the option to skip. Tap on Skip and you'll be taken to the location screen. Here you can enter your delivery counts in the tree view or switch to the list view and export those counts to the POS the same way. But wait, there's more! We also have a scanner in the app that works with your device camera also. The scanner helps us quickly scan barcodes for inventory or delivery. In the top right side, you see the scanner. Tap on it and for this example, start scanning the delivery. This is a quick and more efficient way to load a delivery without the e-invoice. Press on that cascading windows icon in the top left for continuous mode and scan your delivery away. If you accidentally scanned a product one too many times, simply swipe to the left and delete. Once you're done, simply press Done. You can do this for week-ending inventory counts also. To get barcodes to scan for inventory, if you're in North America, you can purchase them from IPC Nicely Packaged, or for everyone, generate barcodes for free from the app by going to the menu, Generate Barcodes, and choose which ones you want, and then print them, laminate them, and you can add to your shelves. Using Subventory, you have now successfully uploaded your delivery and inventory without having to manually enter them into your POS, also without having to stop to ring up a customer and forgetting where you left off. So now that you've just done your delivery, you might have had an issue with one of the items you received. Let's say your ham case wasn't packaged correctly. You can submit a QualityNet claim directly from the app. If you receive electronic invoices, you'll be able to start a claim from the invoice that you received the damaged item on. So let's go back to the e-invoice that we were doing the delivery on. Then, if you swipe to the left in the white space, in red you'll see the box to file a complaint. You can tap on the red box to open the claim and then get directed to the QualityNet screen to submit the claim information. Going back to the home page, on the top right hand side we see a chat box with a queue inside. This is a shortcut to QualityNet. You can now submit claims from Subventory to QualityNet. Most of you may already know that you can no longer call in your complaints, so using Subventory's QNet feature is very convenient. I'm showing how this looks in the US and Canada, but it may be different if you are in a different area. QualityNet isn't integrated into Subventory, so some of the features may not be available to everyone. We are demonstrating how it looks in the US and Canada, where it is called QualityNet Pro. If you have any questions, feel free to contact support. Now on the screen you can view an existing complaint filed through Subventory or create a new one. We also have filters in this screen. Again, depending on your location, the filters may be different. On the top left-hand side, we see a filter to view claims by product or service. In the top right-hand side, we also have a filter to view claims by status. This filter will let you sort claims by open or closed. To open a new claim, we simply tap in the middle orange section with the wording New Complaint. You are then prompted to select to open a product claim or service claim. For this example, we will select Product Claim. Then we see that we have options on how we can identify the product being claimed. You can select to scan a barcode of the product, manually enter the product SPC, or select from a product list. For this demonstration, I will use a product list. Once I have selected product list, I will see a list of all the categories I have for my restaurant. I can select bread carrier by tapping on the green circle with the arrow pointing to the right, which will open the items listed under bread carrier. On the top right hand side, I also have a filter. The green box with the word All is a filter. If I tap on it, I can choose to view all products in the app, products with configuration issues, or lists of the new and changed items. If I pull my screen down, I can also do a search for an item. I'm going to use the search box to look for ham. I see ham and proceed by tapping on the picture. On the next screen, we are being asked for product information. As you can see, we provide the SPC number for you. You just need to provide us with the supplier plant suffix. At the bottom of the screen, you can see a tutorial of how to locate the SPC. In my example, I will use W, proceed to enter W in the white box, and then simply press Next on the top right-hand side. If you have previously submitted deliveries to your POS using Subventory, then you will see these deliveries on the screen and be able to choose the one that had the defective product in it. If you know the invoice number associated with the product, you can simply select the invoice. If you do not know, scroll to the bottom of your e-invoices and tap on the white circle on the right-hand side next to the end sentence, I don't know. Then you are prompted to provide a picture of the item. This step is optional but will support your claim. You can take the picture or you can have already taken the picture, simply upload from your photo library. We can then tap Next, and the next screen is where we provide product information. Ending with an asterisk symbol is a required field. Under Product Info, we need to indicate the amount that was affected, so if you tap in the box, you can enter the number of items affected. For units of measure, tap in the white box and you'll be prompted to select if it was a pouch, case, or each. I uploaded a picture of my product, so I would proceed to enter 1 for units affected, and for units of measure, I'll enter case. We provide you with the distribution center. Under the additional info section, if you had selected the invoice, the DC invoice and delivery will be pre-populated. All the other fields are not required, but again, the more information you provide, the easier it will be for your distribution center to provide a quick turnaround solution. Here you can provide a picture of the distributor label to help support your claim, but it is not required. And then we proceed to tap on Next. Under the complaint type, we see an asterisk, so this is a required field. If you tap on the word type, you will see a list of the most common reasons for an open claim for products. I will select bad seal for this example. Under the complaint question, I will answer the question, was the case opened or damaged? Tap on the box and you will have the option to select not applicable, yes or no. I will select yes and tap on next. The screen is asking me to provide a note and restaurant information. Under the complaint notes, I enter a brief description of the reason for my claim, and I'll say that the case was open. Under the restaurant information, we pre-populate your name, email, and phone, and since my shop is a test shop, therefore the information is not saved. You also have the option to enter an alternative contact, and if you register shop with the shop number but you want to provide a cell phone number, you can enter it here. Or if you would like it for your manager to be contacted, you can enter her or his contact information. We then press next. The next screen is a summary of the claim. You can edit and make any changes here before submitting the claim to the distribution center. If you're satisfied with the information, we simply press submit on the top right corner, and you'll be asked if you want to submit the claim to the distribution center, and you can tap submit. Again, since I am a test shop, I would not be submitting this claim. We can also open a claim from the menu bar. The menu bar is located on the top left-hand side. It's the 3 lines on the home page. This is our menu icon. I press the menu bar and see a list of more features listed in Subventory. I search for QualityNet Pro, and I can tap and be directed to the home screen for QualityNet. For this example, I will select Service Complaint. In this next screen, we pre-populate the distribution center name and default the incident to today's date. But what if the incident did not occur today? It occurred at the time of a delivery a few days ago. To change the date, I simply tap on the date, and at the bottom of the screen, we can scroll to select the correct date of the incident. For this example, I'm going to change the date for 2 days ago when I had received my delivery. Again, I'm prompted to enter the complaint type. I tap on type, I select late delivery, and I tap on next. I'm now in the complaint screen to enter a note, and the restaurant information should be pre-populated for you. I enter a note, the driver was late 4 hours. I proceed with my shop information, and I tap on next. I'm now again on my summary screen. I review it, and if everything looks good, I then continue by pressing submit on the top right hand side. And then lastly, I get a confirmation that I want to submit the claim to my distribution center, and I press proceed. Woo! We've now configured the app, performed an inventory and delivery, and also submitted a QualityNet claim all from my device. Now the last thing to remember, and is one of the most important, is to save the settings that you've changed. If you notice, the menu bar has turned red. If you tap on the menu bar, you can see a new option, Save Settings. I've made changes to my settings so that I need to save them to the cloud, otherwise the settings will not be seen by others logging into Subventory from another device. Always be sure to save settings. You can also save settings by tapping on the menu, select Settings, and save settings to the cloud from here, or load from the cloud settings that we have previously saved. In the advanced training, we talk about the other features in settings, but in today's session, we want to start with the basics and encourage you to use Subventory. Lastly, we have a knowledge base in the app as well. In the menu, we select Help Support. In here, you can see all the articles that you can access and follow step-by-step training. We also have articles for some of the items we will discuss in our advanced training, and if you cannot wait to start using the other features, you can start by reading some of the articles in the knowledge base. We also provide free support. If you tap on the happy face with the headset icon on the top left-hand side, you'll be prompted to send an email to support@zippyyum.com. Support is free, and there are no additional fees. If you need to send us an email, we encourage you to do it from the device where you're experiencing problems. When you send us an email on here, we can see your shop number, the version of the app, the device, and also the version of the device. And this helps to troubleshoot your inquiry. You can also contact us by chat, which is a new feature. If you press on the chat icon in the top right, you'll enter some information and then we'll be able to chat with a live agent. In addition, you can also contact us by phone. You can find our toll-free number on our website at www.zippyyum.com. That's zippyym.com. Thank you for joining us for the beginner subinventory training. We hope that you are able to join us for the advanced training for subinventory. Please visit our website, www.zippym.com,